Hello, welcome to Generational Responsibility. I'm a daughter, a mother, a grandmother, great-grandmother, a neighbor, and a friend. Other than that, it's not important who I am, except that I'm not you. I don't worry about things going wrong or not working. I only have a flip phone for emergencies, and I have no idea what the number is. I have internet for many reasons, but survived decades without it. I have family, but they live so far away that I can't depend on them in an emergency, and that's why I'm here. To let you know that if the power goes out forever, I'm not worried, and I'm not worried about my family. We taught them everything they need to know to take care of themselves and their families. That, dear friend, is generational responsibility. I learned from my parents, who learned from theirs, to be self-reliant. I'm going to give you just a short, quick history on where I'm coming from, and then I probably won't speak of it again. My great-grandparents came to America in the 1880s. The one group settled in Pennsylvania and the other in Cleveland, Ohio, where my grandparents were born. When my grandmother was a little girl, her family left Cleveland and traveled by covered wagon to Helena, Montana, where they homesteaded for several years, and at age 16, my grandmother and her young husband moved back to Cleveland. My other grandfather was very successful in Cleveland and married my grandmother, where his business boomed and everyone started families. Everybody flourished and life was very good until the Depression, and my father's family lost their mansion and everything, literally everything except for their car. So he drove them down to Florida just so they didn't freeze to death. The other grandparents continued to do well through hard times only because he worked for the city utilities department, but during that time they all had to fall back on their early training. Belts were tightened to survive. None of them were farmers, really, until the Depression, and then they all kept gardens after that. These lessons were passed on to our parents, who passed them on to us, as we pass them on to our children. Look up Victory Gardens. I'm not going to teach you how to do the things you need to know, but I will provide you keywords to search so you can find what works for you. There is a lot of information out there, but you just don't know what you don't know. I will leave these keywords in each video notes space for your convenience, but it will never be a complete list. I will only lead you to information that will open more doors for you to learn. Do it now, before you need it, because when the lights go out, it will be too late. Also, you need to make your mistakes before it matters. Once it matters, it's too late. I'm going to cover a lot of different subjects, and I hope to keep these videos to around 5 minutes for your convenience and to keep you from getting overload. But just some of these will be money versus barter, communications, electricity generation, food supply, water, keeping warm or cool, being prepared, city versus country, working with what you already have and what's missing, survivalists versus preppers, security, personal needs, basic finances, and what's really important. The importance of developing a trust team is very important. Less is more when you are prepared, and I know responsibility is a misspelling, but there is a difference between being responsible and being able to respond. I'm sorry you were not taught these things. I'm sorry if you were not taught a lot of the information we're going to cover, but convenience dependency goes back generations, and a lot of our grandparents were either not taught or thought the information was no longer important. Survival of future generations will always be important. They and you have a moral responsibility to teach the children that life and survival is more than putting your debit card into a machine and expecting survival to come out. Debit cards are nothing more than being put on life support, and when the machine goes down, so does life. Think about this the next time you use one. The truth doesn't change just because you don't want to hear it. I will read as many of the comments as I can and answer questions when possible, but the homework is yours. What you put into it and what you get out of it is up to you, but the time to do it is now. Turn off the TV, play your favorite music, get your friends and family involved, and share. Share my YouTube page with everyone you can. I am providing an email address and a link to my Facebook page where I encourage you to get into discussions with others and ask questions. Remember, everybody knows something. Get used to teaching it. Never be afraid to learn more, but always be respectful and learn to truly enjoy your freedoms. Your homework for now is to walk through your everyday life, and every time you reach for something, whether it's car keys, wallet, light switch, telephone, refrigerator, microwave, imagine what you would do without it and how these things are all connected. Make a list because we're going to check most of them off. Please watch the videos in the order they are published so that you don't miss one. This will cut down on many questions and a little confusion because I will be referring to previous ones as we go. Get a notebook, take notes of your research because when the lights go out, the information digitally is no longer available to you. Print out what you can, printers are cheap, and maintain binders for those. Don't be afraid to share your information, but never give up your originals. You may never see them again, and it's a great way to have the information to pass on to your grandkids. Know what's important and go from there. The information is free, but it's your responsibility to find it and learn it. Use it, pass it on. I just want to leave you with one more thought. Long before Ann Landers and Dear Abby, my mother said, "It's not my job to take care of you. It's my job to teach you to take care of yourself." That's why we're here. Do the responsible thing and become responsible. Sometimes I don't like my choices, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to choose. In the end, please choose freedom.